In a small, desolate town where the sun rarely shone, a young boy named Ion grew up amidst the shadows of despair. The streets were lined with crumbling buildings, remnants of a once thriving community now consumed by poverty and neglect. Ion's world was one of chaos and hardship, where the sounds of sirens and shouting echoed through the night. For him, this was not just a place. It was a battleground, a hell that shaped his identity and tested his spirit from the moment he took his first breath. Ion was born into a family struggling to survive. His mother Fatima was a single parent, working multiple jobs just to put food on the table. She had dreams of a better life for her son, but the weight of her circumstances often left her feeling defeated. Ion could see the exhaustion etched on her face, the way her eyes dimmed with each passing day. Despite their struggles, Fatima instilled in Ion a sense of hope, often telling him stories of resilience and strength. "You are destined for greatness, my son," she would say, her voice filled with unwavering belief. "Never forget that you can rise above this hell." As a child, Ion often played in the narrow alleyways, using his imagination to escape the grim realities surrounding him. He created worlds where heroes triumphed over evil, where kindness prevailed over cruelty. But as he grew older, the harshness of his environment began to seep into his consciousness. He witnessed violence and crime, the kind that left scars on the souls of those who lived in the neighborhood. Friends he had once laughed with became embroiled in gangs, drawn into a life of crime as a means of survival. Ion felt the pull of that world, but deep down, he knew he wanted something different. School became Ion's refuge, a place where he could momentarily escape the chaos of home. He excelled in his studies, finding solace in books and the stories they held. His teachers recognized his potential, encouraging him to pursue his dreams. "You have the mind of a scholar, Ion," his history teacher, Mr. Khan, would say. "Don't let your circumstances define you. You have the power to change your future." These words resonated deeply with Ion, igniting a flicker of determination within him. However, the struggles at home were relentless. Fatima's health began to decline, exacerbated by the stress of their living conditions. Ion watched helplessly as she became weaker, her spirit dimming under the weight of their reality. He took on more responsibilities, juggling schoolwork and household chores, all while trying to keep his dreams alive. There were nights when he lay awake, listening to the sounds of the street, wondering if he could ever escape the hell that surrounded him. Despite the challenges, Ion's resolve only grew stronger. He found inspiration in the stories of those who had overcome adversity, individuals who had risen from the depths of despair to achieve greatness. He immersed himself in the lives of historical figures, reading about their struggles and triumphs. Ion began to see parallels between their journeys and his own. "If they could do it, so can I," he whispered to himself, clutching his worn-out books as if they were lifelines. One fateful evening, as Ion returned home from school, he stumbled upon a group of boys gathered in the alley. They were older, their faces hardened by life's trials. Ion felt a mix of fear and curiosity as he approached. "What are you doing?" he asked, his voice trembling slightly. The boys turned to him, sizing him up. "We're just hanging out, little man. You want to join us?" One of them replied with a smirk. Ion hesitated, feeling the weight of temptation in the air. He could sense the allure of belonging, the camaraderie that came with being part of something bigger. But as he looked into their eyes, he saw the pain and anger that lay beneath the surface. He remembered his mother's words, the dreams she had for him. "No," he said firmly, shaking his head. I want more for my life. The boys laughed, dismissing him as naive, but Ion walked away with his head held high. It was a small victory, but it reaffirmed his commitment to fighting for a better future. As the years passed, Ion continued to excel academically, earning a scholarship to a prestigious high school. It was a turning point in his life, a chance to break free from the cycle of poverty that had defined his existence. However, the transition was not without its challenges. He found himself in a world that felt foreign, surrounded by classmates who came from privileged backgrounds. The stark contrast between their lives and his own often left him feeling out of place. Despite the feelings of isolation, Ion refused to let self-doubt consume him. He immersed himself in his studies, determined to prove that he belonged. He joined clubs, participated in extracurricular activities, and sought out friendships with those who shared his ambitions. Slowly but surely, he began to find his footing, carving out a space for himself within this new environment. One day, while working on a group project, Ion met a girl named Sarah. She was smart, driven, and had a passion for social justice that resonated with him. They quickly bonded over their shared experiences of growing up in challenging environments, and Ion felt a sense of camaraderie that he had longed for. Sarah encouraged him to join the debate team, recognizing his potential as a speaker and advocate. "You have a voice that deserves to be heard, Ion," she said, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "You could make a difference." With Sarah's support, Ion took a leap of faith and joined the debate team. At first, he struggled to find his voice among his more experienced peers, but he was determined to improve. He spent countless hours researching topics, practicing speeches, and honing his skills. The thrill of debate ignited a fire within him, and he began to discover the power of words, the ability to inspire, persuade, and advocate for change. As Ion gained confidence, he started to speak out about the issues that plagued his community. He organized discussions on social justice, raising awareness about the challenges faced by those living in poverty. He shared his own story, using his experiences to shed light on the struggles that often went unnoticed. His passion resonated with others, and he found himself becoming a voice for the voiceless. However, the journey was not without its setbacks. Ion faced criticism from those who dismissed his ideas as idealistic or naive. "You think you can change the world?" One classmate scoffed during a heated debate. "You're just a kid from the wrong side of town." The words stung, but Ion refused to be deterred. He knew that change often started with a single voice, and he was determined to be that voice. As he continued to advocate for social justice, Ion caught the attention of local leaders and organizations. He was invited to speak at community events, sharing his story and inspiring others to join the fight for change. Each opportunity fueled his passion, and he began to see the impact of his efforts. People were listening, and together they were beginning to envision a brighter future. Amidst his growing activism, Ion faced personal challenges as well. His mother's health continued to decline, and the weight of her struggles weighed heavily on his heart. He often found himself torn between his responsibilities at home and his commitments to school and activism. There were nights when he lay awake, feeling the burden of it all. "How can I fight for others when I can't even save my own mother?" he thought, grappling with the helplessness that threatened to engulf him. But in those moments of darkness, Ion found strength in the support of his friends and mentors. They reminded him that he was not alone in his fight. "You're doing incredible work, Ion," Sarah would say, her voice filled with encouragement. "Your mother is proud of you, and she wants you to succeed. Keep fighting." Her words became a source of motivation, reminding him of the importance of perseverance. As Ion approached his senior year of high school, he faced a pivotal moment. He was offered a chance to apply for a scholarship to a prestigious university, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that could change the trajectory of his life. But the application process was daunting, requiring him to write an essay detailing his experiences and aspirations. Ion felt overwhelmed, unsure of how to articulate the complexities of his journey. One evening, as he sat at his desk, staring at a blank page, he remembered the stories his mother had told him, the tales of resilience and hope. He decided to write from the heart, sharing not only his struggles, but also the lessons he had learned along the way. "I was born in hell," he wrote, "but I refuse to let it define me. I am a product of my environment, but I am also a fighter, determined to rise above the